So technology and propulsion were big issues back in the late 70s. And the NASA scientists came up with a cunning plan to get these spacecraft up and away and out to the deep area of space. Because you've got to remember, this is only a few years after the last Apollo missions to the moon. And when they launched them, the call it Atlas V rocket, which is the one that went to the moon, was huge. I mean, it was bigger than the Eiffel Tower, and 90% of that was fuel. Basically, it's just a big fuel canister, a wee cockpit on top, because they needed that much fuel to get out and away from the Earth and to carry on to the moon. And the interesting point about this is that the NASA worked out a trajectory that followed the spacecraft. The two of them could follow going out of the solar system to go fly past all the planets, and they used what they called gravitational slingshot. So basically they went round the planet and they used the gravity to push it onto the next one, and they trajected a course all the way out. And that course was only available for a short period of time, once every 50 years. So that's when all the planets were aligned in a line that could actually take the spacecraft to follow out through the edge of the solar system. So they had a very short window to do it. So in 1977 they did the first one, and 82 the second. So off they went, and these spacecraft were the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, so they weren't big, but they carried a lot of instrumentation, as much as the technology, and had very little power. They were working with about 500 watts of power, which is like a couple of light bulbs really. But anyway, that's how much they had. We'll come to that in a second, how that's degraded. So off they popped, flew out of the solar system, took some amazing photos and readings of all these outer planet gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and all the way out to Pluto, which is the furthest known planet in the solar system. And off they went, carried on travelling out. And one interesting fact is that there's a guy called Carl Sagan, who was involved in the NASA program at the time. He was a writer. He wrote a book called Chariots of the Gods, which was an interpretation of, or an analysis of, his proposal that the alien civilizations had actually visited Earth thousands of years ago. And his evidence was that the ancient Aztecs and Mayans and Incas in South America had created these patterns along the top of the Andes mountains from miles and miles long, huge carvings all the way along the top of these mountains. And the thing is, you could only see them, you could only actually visualize them from above, from some distance above, to get actually see what it was. And so he speculated that this is an alien runway to guide the spacecraft in a couple of thousand years ago. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But another interesting aside is, going back to my theme that Frank Zappa has a song for everything, is he wrote a song called Inca Roads, which is quite a good little ditty if you get a chance to listen to that one on Spotify. Anyway, I digress. So these two Voyager spacecraft have been travelling for, this is now 40 years plus out of the solar system, and as I said, they both reached the edge of the sun's influence, the heliosphere. Oh yes, sorry. Before that, they were out past Pluto and heading into deep space, and Carl Sagan convinced NASA to spend some time and money and energy to turn one of the spacecraft around. It was Voyager 2, and they turned it round to face back in towards the centre of the solar system, towards the sun, and they took a photograph of all the planets, well, what they could see, And if you Google it again and look for what they call pale blue dot, because in this photograph, if you go right into the deep field, there's a 1 pixel of a blue dot, and that's the Earth. And it makes you realize just how small and insignificant we are in the big scheme of things, and also how fragile we are, because this one little dot contains all known human civilization.